Hello everyone, I'm the owner of a 200 truck trucking fleet, and I'll be reacting to the video how much does it cost to start a trucking business in 2023. It's 2024 now, but the financials are pretty similar. Usually in these videos, expenses are they understate and leave out some expenses that you need to watch out for. And also some of the expenses are too high, meaning you can negotiate better deals. So if you're looking to start a company, I can help you explain what extra expenses to watch out for and how to negotiate extra discounts to make sure you're not overpaying. So let's dive in.
What's going on, y'all? This is Francisco with Covenant Dispatch LLC, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please do me a favor. Right under this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you like the videos we put out, hit that notification bell so that you can be alerted for when we post future videos. So as you guys can see in the title of the video, I wanted to start. If you watched any of my YouTube videos before, you've went through and saw all of the videos we've made. As you can see, we talk mostly about independent freight dispatching, and we've been shifting a little bit into box trucking, but I've always wanted to just get into trucking in general. So in this video, we're just going to talk about the cost, how much it is to start a trucking company in the year of 2023. And so we're just going to do it through a whiteboard. I have the notes here on my laptop. Forgive me, I'm just going to be writing them down as I, bring them up on my laptop. But the video is going to be in depth. This is literally everything that you need to start a trucking company in the year 2023. So let's just get right into it. Before I get into it though, we also have a bunch of training options. We have an independent freight dispatcher course, just so that your LLC is going to be your first expense. Now, usually, not usually, but it really just depends on what state you live in. I know in Pennsylvania, it's 125. I've seen it go upwards to like 500, I believe, in the state of Massachusetts. But let's just say, we say 120, 150 if we were to, average it out. The second thing you're going to need.
Yeah, that's accurate. Also, a consideration is should I incorporate as a LLC or a corporation? LLC, it's roughly the same. LLC has a tiny bit better tax structure, so just go with LLC in your home state.
Is your DOT and MC number. So your US DOT number, MC number, in short, is just your operating authority. This allows you to cross state lines and transport or haul federally regulated commodities or passengers or cargo, right? So basically it allows you to operate within the United States through any state, basically, right? So you're gonna need those, you're gonna need that operating authority so that you can actually work and make money. So we're gonna put MCDOT, and that's gonna cost you $300. Mind you guys, in the description under this video, I'm gonna put step-by-step every website that you need to go to get all these things if you guys want to use it as a reference point. So $300, you're going to go to the FMCSA website to get that. So number 3 is going to be your B.
One thing with the initial setup, if you're starting a new company, a lot of times banks can have rewards, mostly associated to the credit cards, but sometimes banks offer rewards for setting up a bank account and depositing some money. Try to take advantage of that. When you're starting out, every dollar counts. Try to get as much rewards as you can. Oftentimes, on the credit cards, the rewards are based on how much money you spend. It would be good to put all of these costs on that. Well, you can't set up the LLC before the bank account, but most of the extra costs you can put on the credit card.
EOC3 permit. This is just a permit that you need. As you guys, can see as we move forward in this video, there's a bunch of different permits and things that you need that comes with having and running a trucking company. It's just the rules, right? You got to play by the rules. So the next thing you're going to need is your BOC3 permit. I'm just going to put a P. And you can usually get a processing agent to get this for you, your BOC3. It'll range depending on who you use, but you can get it for as low as $30. And of course they do it for you. You give them your information and stuff like that. Forgive me for the glare that's right here, but at the end I'll put the total so you guys can see it, right? So, all right, that's number 3. Number 4, you're gonna need your truck, right? So depending on what kind of truck you get, man, it's gonna range, whether you want to get a box truck or a day cab, or if you want to get a sleeper, dump truck, whatever you want to get. But let's just say, if we're speaking objectively or just generally, let's just say you want to get a regular day cab, and a day cab just means it doesn't have a sleeper in the back. Let's say you just want to go ahead and get a day cab. That's going to cost you I'm gonna average it out and just say 50,000, right? So 50,000. And the reason being is because you could have gotten this same truck a few years back for virtually almost, I don't want to say half the price, but at least 30% less. But because of inflation and because of delayed shipments and just a whole bunch of stuff that's going on in the economy, you can't get it for the same price. But on the low end, you can get a decent, let's say an international Cascadia, which some of you guys might say, oh, that's a terrible truck. But you know, if you're looking to start a trucking company, maybe you have like a local opportunity, contract opportunity. So you just want to get a decent truck that has decent amount of miles. You know, you're looking at like, let's say an international Cascadia used about 500,000 miles more or less. You can get that for about 50,000, right?
Okay. Uh, 500,000 mile truck. I think you should try to negotiate closer to 40,000. Although this is 1 year ago, so I think used truck prices went down a tiny bit. My recommendation, if you used to be a driver, one of your advantages versus to running your own company versus a mega carrier, you can really inspect every single the truck you buy and get a really good deal. I recommend starting much cheaper. I've seen owner operators start with a $6,000 truck and they make the $6,000 back in a few weeks. So I wouldn't start at 50,000. I would start pretty low. If you do start higher, I do recommend getting a loan. If the interest rate's anything lower than 15%, I think it's good to spread out your expenses because you could buy a truck and you think you have your money laid out and then you have an engine blowout and then you're completely screwed. So you got to have some cash cushion. So having a loan with a low enough interest rate would be my recommendation.
Now upwards to like 80, 90,000, you'll get one at about 250,000 miles more or less. And it also, you can get a different, of course, truck model that you prefer, like a Peterbilt or Kenworth or whatever. But let's just say 50,000 is more or less how much you'll spend. The next thing you're going to spend is insurance. You need commercial auto liability insurance to keep this MC/DOT active. So you're absolutely going to need that no matter what. That's going to run you, that's also going to range. Let's just say you go through a company and they charge you, let's say about 20% of the premium for the year, which I know Progressive does that. And most new trucking companies, I don't say most, but a lot of them start with Progressive, commercial auto liability. They're going to run you about $4,000 on that down payment. And of course, that's going to depend on what kind of insurance you get. So hopefully you guys can see that. Yep. So
4,000 would be on the higher end. So 20% of 4,000 implies $20,000 per year premium. That is pretty high. I think insurance for one single truck for liability plus cargo plus physical damage should be closer to 15,000. So I would aim for 3,000. Yeah.
the next thing you want to get after that is your IRP commercial plate. So IRP just stands for International Registration Plates. So these are the plates that you need if you're a commercial vehicle, I believe over 26,000 pounds, and you need that to haul freight interstate, right? So your IRP plates you're gonna absolutely need if you're looking to start at least a trucking company with a big rig, right? So that's gonna cost you more or less around $1,900. Hope you guys can see that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's gonna cost about $1,900. And again, that depends on, the state and the criteria, like how much gross weight your truck is. But more or less, the average is gonna be about $1,900, right? Next, you're gonna want your IFTA stickers. So your IFTA stickers, and I'm gonna put that right here. I'm gonna try to speed this up too, so I don't take too long. Your IFTA sticker, your IFTA stands for your International Fuel Tax Agreement. So basically, kind of similar to the IRP plates, right? The IFTA agreement is basically you get a sticker and and you have to pay your quarterly taxes depending on which state you're in. If I'm not mistaken, all 50 states are registered. I could be wrong. It might be a state or two that's off, but most states
that rips you off
are associated with the IFTA. So you have to get your stickers per state, and it depends on which state you're. Well, zero. I didn't even do that here, but let's say you only have one of those things that you need, and I'm not going to elaborate on that. You have, I think it's like 0 to 3 trucks, I believe, in your fleet. Let's say you're starting off with one truck. It's going to cost you $41 for the year, and you have to 2290 tax filing, I guess, if you put it like that.
2290.
Let me put that here real quick.
$500 a year.
2290. You're gonna also need to get that. That's also gonna depend on truck magnet, and you need to put these on either side of your truck doors. That's per the FMCSA. So you actually have to have your trucking company name, your DOT number, and your MC number. And by the way, your DOT number has to say US DOT. I actually got a violation for that one time, and I didn't know that. So you have to have your MC number, your US DOT number, and you have to have the name of the trucking company. Now, I like to use a simple website that I recommend is Vistaprint, and I'll put again in the description under this video, I'll put the link for that website. But you go to Vistaprint and you can get a truck magnet like 24 inches by like 12 inches or something like that, and you can put all that stuff on there. Now, mind you, the lettering has to be at least 2 inches. Again, that's per the FMC. Number 11, you're gonna want to get
$80 for
your DOT inspection for your truck. Now, if you bought a truck that already has a DOT inspection, then good for you. You don't have to pay. But if you do have to get your own DOT inspection, it's gonna range anywhere from, let's just say $80 to $100, but let's just say $100 you have to pay, right? Number 12, you're gonna wanna get a fire extinguisher. So each, per the FMCSA, one of the regulations is you have to have a fire extinguisher in your truck. Guys, you can literally go on Amazon and type in, you're gonna need those for sure. And you can also get those on Amazon for about, let's say $30. Number 14, you're gonna need a binder, and you're in a binder, literally like at Staples or Walmart, you can just buy a binder. It's gonna cost you.
Where is trailer? Truck was $50,000. Let's talk about the big items first.
Let's screenshot this video at a Amazon or like even at like Walmart or something like that. Now I'm gonna use this little trucker GPS. You can just actually download an app and pay a subscription. Your ELD. Apologize if you guys can't see this. And your ELD is going to run you somewhere around 150. There was a old ELD company called Keep Trucking, but they transferred to Motive. They're a great company. I recommend them. You'll pay about 150 for your ELD monitor. And your ELD monitor basically just tracks the hours so that you're within regulations of your hours of service, or abbreviated.
Most ELD companies, you can get away with no upfront cost, and you just pay monthly, roughly $25 per month, over a 3-year contract with no upfront cost. I think Motive still does that. I think Samsara does that. Those are the two most popular options. For our company, we tried both, and Samsara is quite a bit better, because it has a lot more technology. So if you're starting out with one truck, you don't need the fancy technology. Do whatever. But I don't think you need to pay the $150 upfront cost. So that should probably be able to be worked into your contract.
Abbreviated as HOS, hours, right? So the next thing you'll need is, let's say you want to, haul freight in a dry van, which is like a trailer.
About the ELD, I do recommend getting a dash camera. Dash camera is probably $8. It might save you a little bit of money on insurance, probably not. What it'll do is if someone hits you and the police comes, and it's not your fault, you can save like 20, 30, you can save huge amounts of money to prove that it's not your fault due to the accident. Also, it saves your driving records. That's $7 per month is very well spent. And the dash cam plugs into the ELD device, so you would just buy both together.
Or 53-foot trailer, or like a flatbed. Now you could go and purchase one used. You're gonna spend anywhere from maybe like $30,000 to $60,000 between whether it's used or old to purchase. You might be able to purchase one for maybe like 15 to 20,000. It'd probably be like a not as good quality, but you could probably purchase it for that. I recommend just leasing if you know somebody that, or even just doing your due diligence and finding somebody that leases it. You'll get it for a great lease price. But we're gonna put trailer, and let's just say you find a trailer and they charge you like $1,300 a month. It depends on the company, but more or less you can get it for about $1,300 a month.
Okay, you should be able to get a trailer for $400 per month, relatively new. What trailer companies do? So in the hottest of freight markets, when there are no trailers, yes, we've paid up to $1,100 for these are 1-year-old, 2-year-old brand new trailers, maybe $1,100. do not pay 1,300 a month. The way trailers work with the bank is most trailer leasing companies, the bank stretches out the loan up to 30 years. And if you plug into a loan calculator 30-year loan for $50,000, I mean that payment over 30 years is going to be pretty low. And that's what most of the competitive trailer companies are doing nowadays. You got do not pay $1,300 per month for a trailer.
So I hope you guys can see that right there. Trailer for 1,300. The next thing, I know it seems like a lot of stuff, guys, but I promise you, if you follow this, you'll have everything that you need and you won't get caught out there, you know, getting violations and stuff. The next thing you're gonna need is a trucker GPS. Now, the trucker GPS, I recommend just using a phone, right? Just use your phone, download an app, and get a mount so that way you don't have to pay like an extra $500, $400 on a trucker GPS. Personally, I don't think it's necessary, but if you feel more comfortable, then certainly go ahead and get that.
Yeah.
The next thing you need to do is enter your company into what's called a drug program or a drug testing consortium or drug program consortium. Basically, they enter you into a random screening where your drivers are randomly screened for, you know, using whether they're drinking on the job, smoking weed, whatever the case may be. And I'm just gonna put DP for drug program. Now that is gonna DOT med card, get your deal. You know, I did if you're established. I wanted to also add, if you're starting a box truck company, a non-CDL box truck company, there are a few things on here that you wouldn't need. If you're starting a non-CDL box trucking company, you won't need your IRP plates depending on the circumstance. You won't need your IRP plates, and you also won't need your 2290, and you also won't need a trailer, of course, and you won't need your IFTA, mind you, non-CDL box trucking company. You won't need those three things, or actually four things. You won't need those four things. But as a non-CDL box truck company, you will need other things like a pallet jack, you know, E-track straps. You're gonna need a lift gate if you want to expand the amount of work you can do. But this video isn't really just for box trucking or non-CDL box trucking. I just want to add that because I have a lot of people who start a trucking company. Mind you, this is just an average number.
Okay, I'm gonna talk more into the financial side. What else do you need? You need some load board subscriptions. You need access to load boards, which gets you revenue. You don't want to skimp out on cheap free load boards where you make $500 less per load. You want access to all the highest paying loads. So just DAT is the most popular, tends to be the best one, but pay for access to get your revenue. And that should be really cheap. I think DAT Power might be free, but DAT the mobile app might be free for owner operators, but just buy the more expensive one for $50. Other things you need a factoring agreement for owner operators. A lot of the offers are around 2.5 to 3%. So factoring is after you haul or load, instead of waiting 30 days to 60 days to get paid, because big companies take time to pay money. Most owner operators cannot afford that. It can't work for a whole month with expenses like fuel and truck and trailer without getting paid the invoices. So they pay a percentage to a factoring company. You could go with a quick pay option through the broker. That tends to be about 2.5%. That's a little bit too expensive. Try to negotiate that down to 1.5%. You can get even as low as 1%, although interest rates are a little bit higher. So maybe 1.5, 1.5 is probably the lowest you can get as an owner operator. And that extra percentage matters because remember, trucking is a low margin industry. So your net margins are probably 6%. When you're starting out, honestly, you're probably, because you're the driver, you're going to make money from your salary. But if you already hire a driver, when you're starting out, you're probably breaking even. It all depends on the market fluctuations. But over the long run, if you pay drivers, net margins are 6%, which means if you pay 2.5% on factoring versus 1.5%, your margin goes from 6 to 5 or 6 to 7. It's a huge difference on your net profits. Any percentage payments on gross is very big. Something else you need is fuel discounts. I recommend the app Mudflap. Fuel discounts is a very significant part of financials, and getting 30 cents per gallon through an app like Mudflap It's going to be crucial for your business. Other startup costs, maybe a domain, maybe internet connections. If you don't already have that, I guess some accessories for inside the truck.
Based upon the things that, I was able to gather together as far as the information I know that you need to start a company. If you guys, again, have any questions or maybe you have additional things you want to add in the comments, please feel free to add them in the comments. Like I said before, we have courses and training programs. All those things can be located in the description under this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button first of all, and again, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video where we talk about what it looks like if you want to hire carriers.
Okay, overall, that was a good video. My recommendation, you gotta pinch every penny when you're starting out. Don't think, plan for the worst, plan for mistakes. So save money everywhere you can. Okay, folks, that's our first review. Thanks for watching.